Hey everybody, it's me again, Charles Dorn from Sports Solutions LLC. We are the creators of AthleticSOS. AthleticSOS is a software that allows you, based on your academics, your sports you play, the level you can play, and the area of the country you might be interested in. We help you find all of your options and opportunities so you can make the best choice for what you're trying to do in the future. So, and we allow you to use it at no cost. So down below, I always put a link on and a code and instructions and tell you exactly how to use the website. And I'm going to put another link down there to kind of show you what AthleticSOS is and how it works. A little quick video that kind of shows you what it does and what it is. And so feel free to use it. Please use the software. That's why we created it. So I want to talk, the biggest question I get, well, I won't even say it's a question now. It's the biggest pushback I get is, who should I trust? Why should I trust you? Really what I get back all the time. Who are you? You're not no coach. Why would I listen to you? But I want to broaden that question out a little bit more. Who should you trust? You're trying to get an athletic scholarship, right? That's what you're trying to do. Who should you trust to get you there? And so I want to turn this question around a little bit more. If you're trying to get an athletic scholarship, who do the college coaches trust? Because that would be the real question, right? Who would they look to vouch for you? And so let's walk back that way. So the first person they trust is themselves, right? You're a college coach and you keep your ear to the ground. And so you know what kind of talent you need for your team. You know what kind of attitude you want for your team. You kind of know what you're trying to bring in, and you know what you need for the next couple of years and what you're losing in the next couple of years. And so and then you got your assistant coaches on your team. And then you've got some scouts that you really, really trust, that understand your program, that bring people to you that they think fit your program, and they'll push them up to you. Then, believe it or not, the next one is there's some major travel club programs. It's just national level that always get the best of the best kids. They'll believe them. If that coach or the owner of that league or travel club team gave them a phone call about a kid, they'll take a look at that because they trust that a little bit. But they trust your high school coaches more than they trust the travel club coaches, which threw me off a little bit. But there's a great reason for that. The travel club coach is getting paid to produce for these families. The high school coach, most of the time, that high school coach is getting a new set of kids every year. They've been there 5, 10, 15, 20 years. They're not going to tell a college coach a kid can play at this level, and they can't, because there's no reason for them to do that. They're not going to gain anything from it, and they're not going to lose anything from it. And they got another set of kids coming every year. And if they do have the kid that can play at that level, they want to be able to call that coach up and tell them about it too. So they really trust high school coaches. And the other thing a high school coach gets that the travel club program doesn't get is, usually when you're on a high school team, if you're the star of the team, the rest of the team is probably not as good as you. And so you've got to carry them. You've got to have that attitude. Can I carry somebody without complaining and moaning about how these people aren't doing X, Y, Z and all that kind of stuff? And so your attitude and the way you handle being a star is really important for a coach, because the biggest thing for them is they don't want disruption coming to their program. And so now talent will always override disruption, as far as I've seen, as I've been doing this. So don't think that the kid is just a jerk. If they're the best of the best, they're still going to get the scholarship, and they're still going to be a jerk, and the college coach will just put up with it because, hey, talent overrides everything for a lot of these programs. So having said that, so who do you trust to get you there is the next thing. So there's all of these recruiting services. Do I go get a recruiting service? They're trying to charge me all this money. Doing my travel club program is going to charge me, $800, I've seen them up to $3,000. But what you're paying for there for your travel club program, what you're paying for is they already have contacts, right? So they have some colleges that are already listening to them, so they can get you somewhere. But is it where you want to be? And is it worthwhile? The money aspect of it, just drop that, because it costs so much to go to college now. Whatever they're charging you for a recruiting service, if they can get you a scholarship to a place you want to go, then my goodness, you got to pay it, because you're going to save the money on the back end no matter what they get you a scholarship for. To me, I don't know why everybody always argues about that. And yes, it can cost you anywhere from $500 to $5,000 to get somebody to get your kid an athletic scholarship so that they can get some money for going to school. But you will make that money back at least 3 to 4 times, in my opinion. College is just super expensive. Okay, and then what about recruiting services, online recruiting services? There's NCSA, there's RecruitMe.com, there's Captain U, there's all these recruiting services out there. There's us, AthleticSOS. Should you trust us? Now, I always tell you, you're not coming to me to trust me. I can't get you an athletic scholarship. I don't have contacts with anyone anywhere. But what I can tell you to do is, if you're going to use one of those services, what you're really doing is you're putting your name in, you're going to go there, you're going to register, you're going to put your name in this bucket, and then they're going to allow college coaches to come in and discover you. If that's something you want to do, then why not do it? And some of them are free, and then they'll have these graduated things where you can pay for more personal one-on-one help. And so you can figure out the best way to do that. Now, to me, the reason we created AthleticSOS, because I went through this with my daughter, and that's who I am. That's, I guess, we're all coming back to. Why should you trust me? Because I went through this, and I'm just a parent that happens to have some technical skills. I spent 30 plus years doing this for a government entity, building website, enterprise level websites that really encompass everything and give you what you need. And that's all I built. And then the way we make money is we let you use the software at no cost, because I want to help each and every one of you guys. But I'm not trying to help you just get an athletic scholarship. What I'm trying to do is build our next group of young people and get them prepared to think past right now. Think past the next 4 years of high school, the next 4 years of college and beyond. I want them to start building their own thinking in terms of their futures, not just right now. And so that's what we're really all about. And then what we also wanted to do is we're starting to think past our 4 years of high school. We're thinking about college, right? That's the next thing. Where do I want to go to college? What do I want to be? What do I want to do? Where in the country do I want to be in? And that's where our software comes in, because all you're going to do with our software is you're going to get a list of schools that you qualify for academically, have your sport at the level you can play, is in the area kind of that you want to go play in, you know, what area of the country, what kind of environment is that school? Do they have your major? Do they have you're trying to figure out where's my best fit. And then now you can go to any of these recruiting services. You can pay your travel club person and you can say, listen, here's a list of schools I qualify for academically. They have the sport. You guys said I could play at this level. I think I can play at this level. I need you to reach out to these schools for me. Don't give me the schools you have only. I want you to reach out to these other schools. And that is the game that we're playing on our side. And now you end up going to the school you want to go to because you did a little bit of homework. And I want those kids, I want your student athlete to do some of this homework too. What do they want to do? And now you guys are having that conversation on, oh, wait a minute, hold on. I thought you were going to do the X, Y, Z. I thought you were going to stay closer to home. I thought you wanted to go to this big university. I thought you wanted to do, you know, all of that kind of stuff. Figure that stuff out. That's all we're doing. So this is why you probably should trust me, is because I can't get you an athletic scholarship. I can just tell you where you have the opportunity to reach out. And then we tell you some different ways we would go about doing that and things that we've seen has been successful for other people. So you're not trusting me to get you an athletic scholarship. You're just trusting me to give you some information. So as you go to whoever else you're going to try to trust, you can say, hey, here's my list of what I want to do. Now, the other thing to talk about, I did another video, and maybe I'll put it down in the thing, but you guys can look on here. I did another video on being very, very careful that you don't get caught up where you're part of a package for getting an athletic scholarship. This is the one thing that bothers me the most, being part of a package like your travel club program. Hey, if you take Johnny, that college wants Johnny, I need you to take James too. And now you're the add-on. Don't let them do that to you. Don't let them do anything that doesn't make you, that college doesn't really want you first. All right, so be careful with that sort of thing. Those are the kind of things. And then when you're going on to these other websites where you're just throwing your name in the bucket, yes, the coach is going to be able to come in and see you, but they're also going to see everybody else in that bucket. And so now you're just competing against each other. It benefits the people who put the site together, and I don't have anything against that. But just know you're competing against everybody else, whereas with our software, you're only researching on yourself. You're finding a list of schools that fit you perfectly, and then you can start moving from there. So those are the other things there. Now, let me give you the one reason not to trust me, right? Because I like to be fair on these things. You have to register to get on our site. So we're going to get some information. Now, we're getting the information more about the parent, because I think for us, a parent has to register their own kid. We don't want minors coming on here trying to register themselves. So I do have some information about you. Now, theoretically, I guess I could sell all that information to somebody, but that's not what I'm going to do. So you don't have to worry about that. But I will make offers in there. I'm telling you right now, but they will be offers that I vetted, because I'm a parent. I get it. I'm not going to send you guys anything that I think is not beneficial for your kid moving forward or beneficial for you as a parent, right? Some of the things you may want to think about and do or be aware of. And so that's kind of how we are. So who should you trust? So the number one thing I always get from parents when I go to any event that parents are at, they trust themselves. And this is interesting. You can trust yourself, but if we're being really serious about parents, as a parent, we know that we overestimate our kids' ability a lot of times, or we underestimate it. We don't know what we're doing in this world. And nowhere else do we, with something this important about your kids' education or their future, do we take and try to just trust ourselves. Most of us don't do our own taxes. Most of us don't try to fix our own cars. I know some of you guys can do all this stuff. I get it. But most of us, we don't try to diagnose ourselves medically. We go to a professional. We go to somebody that kind of already knows the rules, because we're only in this window for a short time and we don't want to mess it up. So we try to use some professionals, some people that know what they're doing, some people that can guide us. Now, I don't know, if this person is going to be truthful with you or not going to be true, but I know for you, you should have somebody on your side that you trust that can help guide you through this whole process. And the final thing I'll say about this is, even if you trusted somebody and they didn't come through with you, if your kid's good enough, they're probably getting some letters anyway. There's some schools that are already interested in them, so you're already ahead of the game in that sense. The only thing that I would be careful for there is that they're interested in you, but they're also interested in these other kids, and some of those other kids may be higher of interest to them, and then they pick one of them, and then you get left holding the bag. And that's why, again, I created AthleticSOS, because now you've got some other programs in your back pocket that you can reach out to if things start falling through in your kid's senior year, like they didn't get that early, especially if you don't get an early offer in that fall of the year they go back to school. Those offers should start rolling in right about then, and you should be already signed for most of you guys by the time you start your senior season. And if you're not, you need to start pulling out that list in your back pocket. You need to start thinking about a recruiting service. You need to start thinking about being proactive and not reactive, and hoping everybody that was sending you those letters is in love with you, because obviously they weren't in love with you enough to make that offer right away. They want to see something, maybe see if you got a little bit bigger, a little stronger, a little better, whatever it is. You don't have time for that. You can let that play out, but also go in and be proactive and start reaching out on your own, because by the time you get to be a senior, it's very hard to join these travel and club teams, because they've moved off seniors and they're bringing in the new freshmen, sophomore, or juniors because they're going to play with them during the summer. And so they're starting to move off of you guys. There's some senior tournaments, there's some opportunities, all-star games, things like that. But at that point, you need those college people sending people out to see your kid, because you reached out to them first. You told them where you were going to be, which we allow in our software. We show you how to do all of that stuff. That's what we do. So look down below. You'll get the code, you get the instructions, you can use our software. It does not cost you anything. Doesn't mean it's free, because I am going to make offers to you. Please, if you see an offer you like, please take it from us, so it helps us out. It brings money into us, and then we can continue on doing what we're doing. We've got some other cool software we're going to do for the younger kids, so we're working on that right now. And so who do you trust? You're going to have to make that decision. Yes, trust yourself, but don't rely only on yourself, because you may not get there. Don't just trust the colleges because you're getting the letters. You want to trust them, you want to reach out and go back and forth, but don't think you've got that sewn up. Don't rely 100% on your high school coach. Don't rely 100% on your travel club program. Don't rely 100% on anyone, because they cannot guarantee you anything. And you know what? You can't guarantee anything, but try to dabble around in all of them. And then once you got something sewn up, if it's the right thing, take it. Okay? Don't hold off for the next best thing. Take this thing that you have, sign up, and move on with your life. All right, guys, as always, best of luck to you in all your future endeavors. I thank you for taking the time out to listen to my message, and we'll be talking to you soon.